Hey there guys, Next Strike here, back again for another video, and after a very long and much needed break from Batman Arkham as a whole, because, well, as a lot of you know, Batman Arkham Knight was a disappointing gem of a game, and that phrase is going to be very confusing to some of you who have not kept up with me, but basically that means that I did really appreciate and like Arkham Knight, but then the DLC happened. That's all I need to say, and then the patches happened, especially 1.13, and now they finally fixed most of it. Finally. Oh, Arkham Knight, you have taught us so many things about what not to do with an Arkham game. Thank you very much. Way to end a trilogy. Anyway, so this is not an Arkham hate video. I already made one of those, and people didn't like the truth, so we're not going to do that today. Instead, what we're going to do is we are going to talk about what we need next in a Batman Arkham game. And the reason I have a pencil, yes, believe it or not, I actually do have a brain, and I do actually know how to write and read and do all that stuff. I did make a list because I had a lot of things I wanted to say, and I didn't want to miss a single thing, and I probably still did somehow because, well, there's a lot of things to make a great Batman game. But these are the things, and the reason why I say Batman Arkham is because, let's be real, there's going to be another one. There is, whether Rocksteady makes it or not. It doesn't matter who makes it, it's going to get made, okay? And I don't want someone terrible to make it. Let me just say that now. I'm not one of those people that's like, ooh, Batman, let me buy it. You guys know me. I am super critical when it comes to stuff I love. And if it's crap, I will be the first one to call it out. I don't care what people say. I have always been a critic, and I always will be. But going into this, these are the things that I think will be needed for sure to ensure a great Batman Arkham game. Alright? Number one, getting rid of the awful community that sucks up to the... Okay, we're not going to do that. Oh, that's a whole nother video in itself. The sucking up of the community. Alright, seriously though, for real, we're getting into it this time. Alright, number one, a great story. And I'm going to put this pencil down because I don't feel it's necessary to hold that. Alright, so a great story. Now, when I say a great story, some of you might be like, wait a minute. All the Arkham games had a great story, right? Well, I think some people would disagree with you, and by people, I mean a lot of people. And, yeah, I'm one of those people. I don't think that every Arkham game had a great story. My personal pick would be Arkham Origins. I thought the story in that was very subpar and predictable. Very subpar and predictable. And Arkham Knight was a good story, very emotional, but it did feel different from the past two Rocksteady games because Paul Dini was not writing it. And obviously it introduced Origins being into the canon, and then it had the comics were supposedly canon, and then we had all these plot holes, and Tim Drake was Robin with Barbara, and it's like, what? So basically we had a lot of plot holes going on with the comic book line, and we had the video games, and trying to... See, the whole thing is that they included WB Montreal's game while Arkham Knight was already in production. So when you try and include a game that does not know what the story of Knight is into the mythology, it ends up screwing it all up. So that's just awful to do that, but now we're stuck with it. And whether you like it or not, the canon of Arkham is just, it doesn't make sense anymore. It doesn't. Arkham Asylum and Arkham City made sense because guess what? Paul Dini, he wrote them, and he made sure they made sense because he's written comics and he knows how continuity works. And after that, we had Rocksteady and we had WB Montreal write the stories, and, well, they screwed it up. They did. Even though I really did like Arkham Knight's story, and I think that it really serves a great story and all that stuff, it had plot holes, you know? I mean, if you try and fit it in, it doesn't completely fit in with the DLC and the comics, which they say are canon, and there's no way they're canon. If you've read the Arkham Knight comics, you know what I'm talking about. So what they need with this next game is a great story. And I don't know if they're going to put it in an Arkham game. Now, this could just be another Batman game with a similar Arkham playstyle, because they don't need to get rid of the Arkham playstyle. They don't. But if it has a similar approach, similar gameplay, all that crap, all right? It needs to have a great story. Okay, it needs to have a great story. And I'm sorry this chair creaks all the time. It's all, what can I say? All right, so it needs to have a great story, and I think enough said. It needs to have a great story, no plot holes. Let's move on. All right, number 2, balanced Joker. Now, what I mean by balanced Joker is that we need to have not too much Joker, but we need to have Joker. And the reason why I say we need to have Joker is some people say, let's just get rid of Joker. You can't get rid of Joker. I mean, you can't. He's too popular. People would go crazy if you got rid of Joker. And let's be real, it's WB and DC we're talking about. They wouldn't let that happen. They wouldn't. They'd be like, we need to have Joker. He makes us money. And that's probably why he's been such a big character in all the Arkham games. But the thing is that Joker was, I think, pretty well balanced in the first 2 Arkham games. Now, of course, Arkham Asylum, Joker took over the asylum. It was Joker's asylum. We knew we were going into with that. And with that premise, I think it was handled great because the other characters did get to shine. With Arkham City, it was even better because, yes, Joker did play a crucial role, but a lot of the other characters got to shine even more in that game. The Ra's al Ghul stuff, Ra's al Ghul, man, that was like my favorite thing in that game when he had to go through the trials of the demon and all that stuff. I was like, yes, I love this. I love this dynamic. And then it wasn't in Night, like, at all, unless you had the DLC, which they didn't last very long. But, yeah, that was great. And then some of the other characters, Mr. Freeze, all that stuff. It was all great, Other characters got to shine without the Joker popping in every 2 seconds. It was wonderful. But you still had the Joker because the Joker is great, and you can't have Batman and not have Joker. Yes, you can have great stories, but in order to have all the villains, you gotta have Joker in there too. I mean, that's just how it is. And then Arkham Origins came along, and then it just did a bait and switch with Black Mask and Joker, which, that was just dumb. And then Arkham Knight had Joker in it so much that it just got to the point where, okay, we've had enough Joker, just stop. Just stop. Okay, too many hallucinations, just no. I mean, some were okay, it's like, okay, we can see Joker a few times, whatever. I like Joker, I like Mark Hamill, but it was forced. There was too many. So, balanced Joker. Alright, number 3, refined gameplay. Now, what do I mean by refined gameplay? Well, I can tell you this, I mean 2 big, crucial things. Number 1, do not be lazy with the gameplay and just make it the same thing as Arkham Knight. Arkham Origins, I'm looking at you, making it the same thing as Arkham City except with shock gloves. Don't do that again. Don't make it lazy. Innovate the gameplay. Okay? And secondly, now this is huge. This is really important, okay? Or as Donald Trump would say, huge. Alright? Because I don't think any of you got that joke in the last video I made. Well, 2 videos ago, I guess it would be. Refined gameplay also means bugs. Good lord, we had so many bugs in these past 2 Arkham games. It is absurd how many bugs we had, right? We need to stop with the bugs. It's ridiculous. Okay? Arkham Origins was a broken mess. The frame rate was awful. Okay? And there's still game-breaking bugs. Like, literally, I played the game, 2 years after the DLC and all that crap came out, hit a game-breaking bug. Well, after I was like, you know what? I hate Arkham Origins. I'm going to try it again. And that happened. I was like, this is why I hate Arkham Origins. One of the reasons. And, yeah, game-breaking bugs. Arkham Knight, bugs too. Now, I don't think there were any game-breaking ones. There might have been. But there were a ton of bugs. And there were a ton of problems. And they still haven't fixed them all. Still. I mean, it took them till patch 1.14. That's 14 patches, people. 14! To finally get the gameplay and all the stuff working properly again. That is ridiculous. Because these patches are not small. These are not like, 2 megabyte patches. No. These are gigabyte patches. I mean, my hard drive is pretty much dead at this point. Like, it's completely full. Thank you. Thank you, Batman Arkham Knight. Thank you for taking up my hard drive. Thank you. So yeah, I don't think I need to say anything more on that. Just make sure the game actually works. Please, don't rush it out the door. Number 4. Now this is a huge one for longtime fans and people who just actually want quality. no cash-grabbing DLC. Now, I know this one's not going to happen because it's Warner Brothers. And it's video gaming in 2016. Let's be real. It's not going to happen. But when we get a game, we want everything that's on that disc. Do we not? We do not want to buy a season pass where half the content was ripped out of the game and then sold back to us and say, oh, here you go. Wasn't that fun? Wasn't that fun to pay $100 for the game that should have been $60? Ha ha ha. Yeah. And not only that, but the season pass. Ho ho. How many people feel like that was actually worth the money? Oh, I don't see any hands. Very few people will say that it was. I guarantee you. And if they do say that, well, I think Rocksteady might be sending them some promotions. Shots fired. So anyway, not saying any names though. But cash-grabbing DLC has gotten to the extreme point of just no return in the video gaming world. And Warner Brothers is no stranger to this. Good God. I mean, wow, Mortal Kombat is really bad about this. Batman is horrible about this. Pretty much every Warner Brothers project is really bad about DLC. It's awful. And we get awful season passes too. I mean, the Arkham Origins season pass was abysmal. And the Arkham Knight season pass was lackluster. Yes, I enjoyed a lot of the stuff that was in it. But it was not worth the price. Because it was a lot of just minor things like costumes or challenge packs that should have been in the game. Seriously, we had 4 fighting maps and 4 predator maps. Wow, let's look back at Asylum and see how many we had, guys. If Asylum has more than Knight, the 4th game in the Arkham series, that is saying a lot. That is saying a whole lot, okay? So moving on, I don't think I need to explain that anymore. This is a big one. A good PC port. Because we haven't had one of those for quite a while, since Arkham City, from my recollection. We had some big problems with Arkham Origins PC port. It got blasted for that. And then the Arkham Knight port, oof, that was a disaster. That was a colossal disaster. And, yeah, Warner Brothers. Good job. Good job. Just, trying to make easy money. No. I'm not going to spend any more time on that. I mean, everyone knows the PC port was a disaster, so, Next one. Now, this one is actually more towards the story, as most of these are more mechanics and stuff like that. This one's more actually in the story. And that is letting the allies of Batman shine. Now, some people say, oh, well, it's a Batman game, therefore it's got to be all Batman. Batman all by himself. No Nightwing, no Robin. They all suck. They're gay. Well, let me tell you, okay? A lot of people, including myself, really like the allies, okay? And we're not just talking about Nightwing, Robin, all the people that wear tights, okay? We're also talking about Oracle. We're talking about Alfred. We're talking about all of those characters, too. And when we have Arkham Knight come out, and they're all damsels in distress. Now, some idiots on the media were like, oh my god, Arkham Knight's so sexist. Oh! And yet, I didn't hear any cries about Nightwing and Robin being kidnapped left and right. Huh, interesting. Yeah, literally everybody was kidnapped and captured in Arkham Knight, except Batman. No, wait, Batman was! Even Batman was captured. How ridiculous is that? Seriously, how ridiculous? Yeah, that needs to stop, because it basically just makes everyone look awful, because I know for a fact that Batman would not just be like, okay, well, I'm done. Here's Scarecrow, show everyone that I'm Bruce Wayne, it's cool. Robin just hanging out in a little cell, which is not even his fault, so at least it shows that he does not suck. Actually, I think Rocksteady was at least saying, hey, Robin's pretty capable, except that he's a complete moron for having a buzz cut, not wearing the hood, and pretty much showing everybody who he is, especially when everyone knows who Bruce Wayne is. Idiot boy wonder. And Nightwing, who has supposedly been with Batman for all these years, yet gets kidnapped and captured by the Penguin. Oracle put up a better fight, and she's crippled. against the Arkham Knight than Nightwing did against Penguin. That's sad. That is sad. So, in the next game, the Allies seriously need to do more. They need to do more. They need to have a more significant impact on the story. And, you know, they don't need to be damsels. Simple as that. Simple as that. Alright, moving on. Now, this is a big one, and this is one of the huge missteps of Arkham Knight. Boss battles. Real boss battles. Not quick time events. Not one-punch knockouts. Boss battles. With health bars. Yeah, I know, right? Boss battles in a video game. What a novel concept. Yeah, bring those back. Is that so much to ask for? I don't think so. So, anyway, again, I don't think I need to spend much time on that. The boss fights in Arkham Knight were abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. They were a joke. And I can't believe they got away with that. That was awful. Alright, now this one is actually not, I don't think necessary, but it would be so cool, and I've seen so many people ask for it. Co-op. Co-op, how cool would that be to have split screen or online co-op? I think both should be an option because online and local, you should always have both. You should always have both because some of us, including myself, have people that actually like to play games with me in real life. I know, right? Crazy. But yeah, being able to play with your friends in local, going through Gotham, fighting crime, that would be amazing. And a lot of people were like, why was that in Arkham Knight? When people saw the multiplayer in Origins and actually got to play it and didn't have connection problems, they were like, this is really cool. And yeah, if it was actually more in-depth and more thought out, it would have been something really amazing. And I still thought it was a pretty cool concept. And if they expanded on the multiplayer and made that a really cool addition and added a co-op, that'd be really cool. Next, free roam. We need to have free roam, simply, with all the characters. That was a huge thing for a lot of people, and Rocksteady's pretty much like, no, you can't do it. And then people modded it, and they're like, yeah, we can actually. And they're like, oh, it's so unrealistic for Nightwing to jump off a skyscraper and land on the ground. Well, who cares? It's a video game. It's a comic book. Like, we don't need this extreme realism in a video game. We don't. Some people just want to roam around as Nightwing and beat up crime. Simple as that. And finally, no lack of content. Now, what I meant by that is, I kind of mentioned this earlier, and that is, when we get the base game, we don't go through the challenges and see, oh, I've only got 2 challenges to play until I buy the season pass. Or, oh, I've only got 6 villains to chase down right now. Interesting. Yeah, so don't do that DLC bait and switch. It's getting out of control. And yeah, like I said, it ties into one of my earlier points, but you guys get the point. So anyway, that is my list. I think I made a pretty good comprehensive list. If you guys have any points that you would like to add, and like I said, I tried to cover everything. As far as anything else off the top of my head, I would like to see a lot of villains explored that we haven't already seen, but I think that's kind of a given. Personally, I think the Court of Owls should definitely play a huge role in the next game because they are seriously a huge threat that could be a major player. They should not be downplayed, so do it. Do it, DC, and do it, Warner Brothers. You know those are really good characters that people like, so do it. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to thumbs it up if you did, and comment below and know your thoughts. That's all I have for now. Catch you guys later.